Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. In this video we will learn how to use useMemo hook. Okay, and what purpose we are going to solve by this hook. So before going to that, let's see what issue we can see in our application and how we can use the useMemo to solve that issue. Okay, so here I have created one sample code, and in this part I have created two states actually. One is list and one is count. So list is just like a string array and count is a number. And once I click on the add atom, okay, at this place, so it is calling this function, and I am adding the one more atom inside this list, and that list is going to show on the UI. So let's see how. I'm clicking on add atom, so it is adding the new atom. Again I am clicking on the add atom, so it is adding the one more atom. Okay, and at this part I can click on this button, and the count can get incremented by 1. So on pressing the increment button, I am calling increase count function, and from that function I am calling the set count and incrementing that count by 1. Okay, so till now it looks good. Okay, even by like so states are also getting updated and everything is going good. So let's do some modification here. Okay, so what we can do, instead of directly using count, we can do some like modification or some delay in that to show on the UI. So let's create one more variable, that is updated count, and I can create here a function get updated count, and here I am passing the count. Okay, and I can create this function at the top, get updated count, and okay, this is arrow function, and here I am getting that value is a number. Okay, fine. So what I'm doing is, like, if I use something which doesn't having like a lot of time impact, that will not make sense to you. So I can add some logic here which can take a longer time, so we can easily see on the UI. For that I can create a for loop, and here I can add some like a higher value and some basic code updation. You can have any logic here. I'm just using some logic. Okay, and whatever this function will return, I can show that on the UI. So instead of the count, I will use that. Okay, so what will happen, so what we need actually, so once I click on the increment, I need to call this function. It will do its operation, and after that it will return the updated value, and I can show that updated value here. Okay, so it's a very straightforward. Okay, so let's see now. Yeah, so you can see here the count is updated. Now let's click on the increment. Okay, fine, but still we are not able to find delay on the UI, so I can add one more or two more zeros so we can find the delay. Okay, and I'm saving it. Let's check. Yeah, so I just press that. Again I press that, but it's taking time to update. Again I'm pressing that, but it's taking time to update. Okay, so now we can see the delay in this count updation on the UI also. So this is fine. So I'm pressing the increment count, and as this function is dependent on the count value, so it is fine. Okay, but you can observe I'm clicking on the add atom, so add atom is also taking that time. Okay, let me add again, add atom. You can see add atom is also taking that time, but here we don't have that dependency, correct? Add atom or list is independent of the count, so it should not take that time. Okay, so what happening here, why it is taking list is also taking that time? So in like React, what happens when we update any state? Like here I click on the add item, and from here add item or like add list, I am updating the state, this one, correct? So what happens in that case? All the code in the functional components gets re-render again. Okay, everything, this code also, this function also, everything. Okay, so while doing that, what happens? It calls this function again with the count value, and this function is taking time, so it waits for till this function to get completed, and after that it gets re-render. So this is what actually happening. So if you notice, we have issue with add item click, not with this, because we need, because this function where the most of the time is taken, that is totally depend on the count, so it's fine here, but not at this point. Okay, so as I click on the add item, it should show the it immediately. It should not wait this function to get executed. So how we can solve this? So here we need use memo hook. What useMemo do is, it's a like inbuilt React hook, and it returns the memoized value. What is memoization is? It's an optimization technique. So whenever we are like passing same value to function, so it will not execute that function again and again. It will just return the previous value if the parameter value is same. Okay, and the third point is, it accept the two arguments. Like we have to use in this way, like use memo, this compute means a function whatever we need to execute, and here we need to provide the dependency, then we can get the memoize value. So if you know use callback returns the memoize function, and use memo returns the memoize value. Okay, so let's move to the program, how we can solve this. So we have to memoize this function. So how we can do is, we can use memo, okay, and import it. If it is not imported, okay, it is already imported. Now in my first parameter I need to pass the function which we wanted to execute. Okay, I pasted here, and in second parameter I need to provide the dependency. So here with this function we have dependency of count, so this function is totally depend on the count. Okay, so I can mention it here. What happened? Yeah, so here we need to use arrow function. Let me move it here. Okay, so what happens, like this function is totally depend on the count, so unless and until the count value is updated, this function will not get executed. Now let me save it. I'm saving it and check. On clicking add item, it is working fast, whatever like as we need. Okay, so what's happening now? Or let's check on increment. So increment will anyhow take time. What is happening now when I click on the add item is, functions start getting like executing this code, but as the count value is same, it will not execute this again. It will just return the previous value. So that's why it is not going to this function. Okay, let me show you the log also. And I can write here get updated count function. Okay, and just open the console. Now check, I am pressing here. Okay, let me refresh it. Okay, let me add here the count as well, or the value. So once I click on the increment, I can see the function is getting executed, okay, every time. But let me clear it. But when I click on the add atom, it is not getting executed. This is what happens with the use memo. So with the, if the count value is not changed, it will return the previous value. So other examples are like, so suppose you are getting data from the API call and you wanted to make some sorting or implement sorting logic at front end. So sorting can take time according to the list, correct? Even if it is not even taking the time, you should not uh, like keep it as it is. You should use the use memo, because in future also it can have the large data, correct? That is one reason. So for this way, or for like a performance improvisation, we use memo hook, and it returns the memo's value. Okay, okay, if you like, if you understand this thing and like the um, video, you can just press the like button and subscribe to my channel. Thank you.